And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. All right, today is a big All Sunday, and we are on a little bit of a time crunch today because we've got NBA prime time, nationally televised games tipping off at 1 o'clock and then again at 3:30. So let's get this show over, done, complete by 1 o'clock so we can all just enjoy the rest of the day. That includes a lot of NBA. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to try and finally squeeze K. Johnson, wide receiver from South Dakota State, in today in our NFL draft prospect of the day. We've had to push him off for the last 3-4 days because we've just ran out of time. But we're going to get it done here. We're going to go through quickly everything, the stories of the day, basketball from yesterday, our moneymaker for today's action, and we will be betting the Knicks Pelicans game, getting tipped off at 1 o'clock today, and then we'll try to squeeze in finally K. Johnson when we break down our NFL draft prospect of the day. But let's get going here. Here we go. Stories of the day up first. And here we go. We're seeing more and more teams in the NFL opting out of the voluntary kind of off-season workouts that are just around the corner right now. So once again, don't be kind of, shocked by these. Don't be surprised by these. Every team will eventually put out a statement like this, like what you've been seeing over the last 2, 3, 4 days of, hey, it's in our CBA. We had the right to do this. We did this last year, virtual workouts. We still think that we can still do it this year. We're still not totally over the COVID thing yet. So players are just trying to be a little safe out there and not join the in-person voluntary workout. So the Saints, a couple of the Saints players are doing it. The 49ers are doing it. The Ravens are doing it. The Eagles are doing it. And that is it. So, and we these are like the 15th, 16th teams that are doing this. So every team will be doing this. Don't be surprised by it. Don't be like, oh my goodness, like our team's going to be trash because we're doing this. No. All the teams are doing this, and the Bucks did it last year and they won the Super Bowl and they're feeling confident again to do it again. So, every team's doing this, folks. So no worries. Alrighty, here we go. And man, oh man, I don't know what this man's talking about. Here we go. Broncos running back Melvin Gordon, quote, "I get overlooked a lot and I'm kind of sick of it." What? You get overlooked a lot? What are you talking about? I mean, all of this man's misfortunes have been on himself. He tried to hold out with the Chargers his last year he was there. The team sucked without him, and then he got there and he didn't help turn around the team. So, I mean, they just let him go after that, and rightfully so. And then he goes to the Broncos last season. But then he stays. He's the main running back there. They move off of Phillip Lindsay, who they drafted and who had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons to start his career. Melvin Gordon, you've only had 1,000-yard season. 1105. Phillip Lindsay, his first 2 years, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. So what are you talking about? First of all, I get overlooked a lot. No, you don't. You are now the premier back. You're the premier running back for the Broncos now. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Phillip Lindsay's overlooked. That man had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons his rookie year, his second year, then took a little bit of a step back this year because a little bit of injuries, and they brought in Melvin Gordon, who took over the main roles of Phillip Lindsay for some reason. So you get overlooked. What are you talking about? You were the main back in Denver with Phillip Lindsay, who was their kind of main back. So let's go a little bit deeper into these quotes to see what this man is truly talking about, because that one quote that did kind of get us hooked in that article makes absolutely no sense. So let's see what this man's saying. Quote, "It was probably one of my most difficult seasons looking back to last year. I'm not going to lie," he told Rennick, "just because a lot of fans and a lot of people weren't too happy with me coming in. I mean, yeah, they just had Phillip Lindsay. They were like, why are we bringing in Melvin Gordon, who's kind of, who will go out and hold out on his team and not play to get a better deal?" So yes, of course, everybody was like, what the heck I even said it. Why would they bring in Phillip Lindsay, or why would they bring in Melvin Gordon? That makes no sense. So we understand that he kind of felt that energy as well. So let's continue on with the quote here. Just because a lot of fans and a lot of people weren't too happy with me coming in and Phil wanting to get paid and everything like that. Yeah, of course he wanted to get paid. The man just had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Melvin Gordon has never had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in his entire career, and has only had 1,000-yard receiving season. Or rushing season. So, of course, Phillip Lindsay would want to get paid. Why wouldn't you? Melvin Gordon, you wanted to get paid before the Chargers let you go. You held out. You did not play because you thought you could get a better deal, and you ended up hurting your team because of that. So, what is this man talking about? He was doing the same thing, but now, woe is me, poor me over here. Now I'm not getting all the attention I deserve. What? But I don't get it. I don't get what this man's talking about because they just got rid of Phillip Lindsay, so why is this man still complaining over here? But let's try to go a little bit deeper. What else is this man saying? I was like, look, man, I had no part in that. I wanted to be here, and they wanted me to be here. It was a mutual thing, and it kind of just happened. It was tough, man, because I felt like a lot of people didn't accept me. I mean, yeah, it's not that they didn't accept you. It's just like, why would we want to go and get Melvin Gordon, who has really, he's been kind of talked about in the media as kind of a big running back star, but his on-field production never really helped that Chargers team out ever. Wasn't really the main reason why they were winning games. He just never, he was just there. He was a solid he was a solid running back. He wasn't above average by a mile. He wasn't below average by a mile. He was just a solid running back. So not everybody wanted this man on their team. Not everyone was like, oh my god, this man's the best running back in the league. I mean, we've got Derrick Henry. We don't need to be talking about Melvin Gordon. You know what I mean? We've got Alvin Kamara. We've got Christian McCaffrey. Nobody's talking about little old Melvin Gordon. And then Phillip Lindsay started to get big. And then he goes here, and I still don't understand why the Broncos didn't keep Phillip Lindsay or just have them be running back by committee. Like, that would have been the perfect duo, as we just saw last year. Phillip Lindsay, Melvin Gordon. I mean, you have to have running back by committee. No one running back gets it done by himself besides Derrick Henry, and that man will be the greatest running back of all time at the end of his career. All right, let's see what else this man is saying. Anything good? Because I'm just hearing nonsense by this man. But let's keep going here. Quote, it was kind of like I am from Wisconsin, and if I have gotten drafted to the pack, I understand how many people feel because it would be the same way for me if I was in Green Bay. There was never any hard feelings, but shoot, at least give me a shot. And it sucked because the fans weren't in the stands, so they were not there in person to appreciate what I do. Appreciate what you do. You don't translate the wins, my man. Truly, you do not translate the wins. Let's just look at every team that Melvin Gordon has been on. Here we go. Rookie year 2015, they went 4-12. I mean, they've got Phillip Rivers as a quarterback. Why are you not having more success if you just have to kind of be a solid running back? 2016, his second year, 5-11. Alrighty. 2017, 9-7, so getting a little bit better every single year. Then come 2018, they made it to the playoffs against the Patriots. That's where they got blown out in 2018. They went 12-4, and it's just truly funny that people want to say that Phillip Rivers belongs in the Hall of Fame. Does he? Does that man belong in the Hall of Fame? Because when we look what he did in the playoffs against the Patriots, they got absolutely blown out 41-28. Nobody could do anything. So offensively, you're getting blown out. You can't make him competitive. Nobody's stepping it up. I understand defensively they gave up 41 points, but I mean, how many excuses are we going to make for Phillip Rivers out here? I mean, he's never won the big game. He's never even gotten close to winning the big game. But let's go back to Phillip Lindsay now. After that season of 12-4, his best season, then they go right back down to 5-11. No, nothing great there. And then just this season in 2020 with Denver, anything great here? What was their final record? What did they finish with? 5-11. So yes, they've got Drew Lock as their quarterback. Nothing really great, but Melvin Gordon does not elevate the play around him. Derrick Henry is the sole reason why the Titans just went to back-to-back playoff runs and got to the AFC Championship one year. Because of Derrick Henry, we see him taking over the games, being the main point of production offensively on the offensive side of the ball. Melvin Gordon is talking all this nonsense, and I truly do not understand what he's trying to get at, what he's trying to do with this article, because nothing is truly making sense what this man is saying. But let's continue on. Is he finally going to make a point out here? Let's see what this man's got. All right, so they were not there in person to appreciate what I do. And with the COVID stuff and not really being able to see Denver as a whole and spend that extra time with the teammates outside of the facility, it just made things a lot tougher. So it was that on top of that, on top of that, on top of that, on top of that. So mentally, it was like I definitely was challenged. So Melvin Gordon's trying to get some sympathy for some reason. He's still there with the Broncos, and Phillip Lindsay isn't. Phillip Lindsay is now in a garbage organization with the Texans. I mean, we should be all feeling bad for Phillip Lindsay, not Melvin Gordon. What is this man talking about, man? So I don't know, man. Melvin Gordon said a lot of things in that article that just literally mean nothing, literally shows us nothing. I mean, I don't know what he was trying to get at that. I get overlooked a lot, and I'm kind of sick of it. Yes, you're not even close to one of the best running backs in the league. I'm sorry, Phillip Lindsay, the other running back that was still on your team, was better than you. When you held out on that Chargers team and you came back and they were 2-5, you never helped that team out. So yes, you get overlooked a lot because you don't translate to win. So what are we doing? Oh, man, Melvin Gordon, man. I feel bad for Phillip Lindsay having to work with the Texans now. They don't even know what's going on with DeSean Watson. They got a new head coach, and we know just the organization is just trash. Bill O'Brien ruined their future, and now Phillip Lindsay has to go to a running game that had good running backs. They had David Johnson last year, and they never ran the ball at all. Now they still have David Johnson and brought in Phillip Lindsay. Do you think they're gonna run the ball more now? They should, but it's the Texans. They probably will not. So if you're gonna feel bad for any Broncos running back or any ex-Bronco running back, it should be Phillip Lindsay and not Melvin Gordon. What is this man talking about, man? I truly don't know. Let's look at a running back that we truly know what he's talking about, because he goes out there and proves it over and over and over again on the field every single game. And we've been watching this man work out all off season, and we cannot wait till football season starts back up again, because this is what I miss the most, watching Derrick Henry, the greatest running back of all time, get it done. So we get another little workout video here of Derrick Henry, but this time he's not running the ball. He's being a wide receiver. And another little hint here, like we're saying, I think the Titans are really going to double down on Derrick Henry in their defense. They just lost one of their great wide receivers. Ryan Tannehill has proven that he can't really be the guy to get you to the big game. So I think the Titans are going to really shore up their defense in the draft, and just kind of all their offense is going to go through Derrick Henry. Now he's catching balls out of the backfield. Now look at this. Nice route running right there. Nice catch. Yards after the catch. Wide open. Bingo, bango. Another drill right here. Get it swinging out to the left. Catching the ball. Yes, sir. In the end zone. Look at this route. Look at this route. Go up and get that ball. Corner. End zone. Beautiful catch there by the running back monster, Derrick Henry. Just in a little bit of a flat. Stays in bounds. Gets that corner before he steps out. Fantastic. Working in the red zone again. Little zig. Obviously not the greatest routes out here, but he's a running back. He's trying. He knows he's going to have to shore up his kind of catch load a little bit, because that's what the offense is going to shift to. It's going to be 24/7 Derrick Henry for the Titans this season. I think Frank Vogel is a little off on Ryan Tannehill now. He's seen 2 straight years. I mean, they've gotten to the playoffs, the AFC Championship the first year. And I think just the kind of first round of the playoffs, I think they lost the first game this season, unfortunately. First or second round exit for the Titans this season. So we'll see what the Titans are going to do, but all we're seeing is Derrick Henry just working out and working out and working out. He knows he's going to be kind of the main weapon here. Now he's working on his kind of catch game a little bit to help out Ryan Tannehill and the offense a little bit. So watch out for just Derrick Henry, potential MVP this year. He was Offensive Player of the Year this year, I believe. Rivaled Aaron Rodgers for MVP. If playoffs counted, Aaron Rodgers probably would not have won MVP, but it's a regular season award. So this is what we're talking about, Melvin Gordon. This is who we don't overlook. Be like Derrick Henry, we won't overlook you. 2,000 yards, not barely 1,000. Come on, man. Get to 1,000 yards consistently, like Phillip Lindsay, like Derrick Henry, like Dalvin Cook, like everybody, like all the other good running backs in this league, and maybe then we won't overlook you. But man, oh man, cannot wait for Derrick Henry this year, truly. Alrighty, another person that's really just talking out of his mind. I truly do not get what these people are seeing out here. But here we go. Rams wide receiver Robert Woods declares offense looks, quote, loaded once again with Matt Stafford and DeSean Jackson additions. What? It does? It does? Matt Stafford makes this team loaded once again? I'm truly not seeing, the draft, differences that Sean McVay sees between Jarred Goff and Matt Stafford. I am not seeing it out there. So let's see what this man's got going on. Why does he say that, this offense is now loaded with Matt Stafford and DeSean Jackson? So let's see what Robert Wood says here. All right, quote, excited for what he brings to our offense in terms of Matt Stafford. Excited for what he brings to our offense, just seeing what he did in Detroit. What did he do in Detroit? Nothing. He had some decent seasons, some nice 4,000-yard seasons. I think he even threw for 5,000 yards once. Absolutely fantastic. Don't get me wrong on that. But it didn't translate to wins, and I know that whole organization was just awful the entire time he was there. I truly get that. But at the end of the day, I mean, are we just going to keep making excuses? If you don't have, everything right around you, you can't win the championship, or you can't be more competitive and consistently get to the playoffs, because he couldn't even do that. He couldn't even get to the playoffs consistently. So, I mean, yes, your talent is great, but at some point you have to go a little above and beyond. You have to put it on your shoulders. You have to try and just do everything in your power to try and get more wins out here. Like we said, we know this Lions organization, the coaches, the supporting cast, the general managers really have all just been trashed the last two decades, honestly. So he's excited for what he saw him do in Detroit already. Some nice seasons. Many passing yards every single season. Yes, he does throw 4,000 yards every single season, basically. But is that more yards than Jarred Goff? It's not, folks. It's not. I just did the math, man. So this is what Jarred Goff's been doing. Let's just kind of go from 2015 to 2020. What has he been doing these last 5 years? 2015, 4,200 yards. Anything above 4,000. That's where I'm. If you're not above 4,000, I truly don't even want to kind of talk about you as kind of one of the best quarterbacks in this league right now. I really, truly want to see 4,000 plus yards. So yes, Matt Stafford is doing that. 4,200 yards, 2015. 4,300 yards, 2016, 4,400 yards, 2017, 3,700 yards, 2018, 2019, and only played 8 games, got injured for 2,500 yards, and then just season back to 4,000 yards. So yes, he does throw a lot of yards every single season, but so does Jarred Goff. His first year, 2016. He only played 7 games, so we're not going to count that season. His first kind of real season with, playing basically every single game out here, goes for 3,800 yards. Then in 2018, 4,600 yards. 2019, 4,600 yards. And then just this season, a little bit of a setback of 3,900 yards. So he's right up there at 4,000 yards every single season. And if you take these quarterbacks' last 4 seasons, these last 4 complete seasons, so 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017 for Jarred Goff, just kind of excluding his rookie year where he didn't play the entire season. So we've got Jarred Goff's last 4 full seasons. He's thrown for 17,082 yards. And if we look at what Matt Stafford did his last 4 full seasons, which would be 2020, not 2019 because he got injured that season, 2018, 2017, and 2016, he's thrown 16,634 yards. So Jarred Goff has 400 more yards passing, but Robert Wood says that he's looking forward because Matt Stafford has many passing yards every single season. What are you talking about? Jarred Goff does the same thing. He does the same thing. Now, I will give him, but he doesn't bring up this argument in his article, in his quote here. I will give him that Jarred Goff does throw more interceptions than Matthew Stafford. That's really where the key difference is between Matt Stafford and Jarred Goff. I mean, Jarred Goff is having, 13 interceptions that last season, 16, 12 interceptions. So, double-digit interceptions these last 3 seasons, not very good. And Matt Stafford has, 10 interceptions this season, just kind of, on that baseline of double digits. 10, that's the first double digit there is. 2019, he only threw 5 because he didn't play that much. 11, 10 in 2016, 17, 18. So, Jarred Goff, his touchdown interception ratio is really not the best here. So, yes, Matt Stafford throws less interceptions, so I will give him that. But in total, we're talking about less yards and everything. So, I don't really get it. I don't get what this man man is truly saying here about Matthew Stafford. Everything you say about Matthew Stafford, you can kind of say about Jarred Goff. I mean, so let's just keep going with this article here. What else is this man saying? So many passing yards every single season. Just got to get these wins in these playoff wins with him. And I mean, like, that's another thing that Matt Stafford never did. He never really won in Detroit. Yes, he's got some nice longevity stats, don't get us wrong. And like we said, I mean, we've already said it, but we'll say it again. He's absolutely had like no real weapons around him. I mean, they really just didn't even really use Megatron that much. It didn't really get him to, winning seasons. So when we look at Matt Stafford's record, I mean, let's just go from 2011 here, 2011. 10-6, 4-12, 7-9, 11-5. That was a good year. But then back to 7-9, 9-7, 9-7, 6-10, 5-11 just this season. So he's not a winner. And Jarred Goff gives you kind of the same offensive production out here. And we will look at what Jarred Goff has done for his career besides his rookie year. So we'll start in 2017. 11-4, 13-3, got to the Super Bowl. 9-7, 9-6. So I mean, he's winning more games than Matt Stafford is. And yes, Jarred Goff, maybe has a better coach. We're not really kind of sure on Sean McVay at this moment. We'll know a lot better this season whether Sean McVay can really coach or not, now knowing that he's got kind of a quarterback that he actually wants out there, not Jarred Goff. He's got Matt Stafford. So it's not like Matt Stafford's this big old winner. And when we look at his production in the playoffs, he's never won a playoff game. Matt Stafford has never won a playoff game. Jarred Goff has gotten you to the big game. Yes, he did not show up in that game. They only scored like 3 points. I get it. But at the end of the day, he got you to the game. Same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo. He got you to the game. He was winning in that game, but you want to move off of him right now? It doesn't make that much sense to me. I think Tom Brady really has scrambled everybody's brain now. They're like, oh my goodness, we can kind of trade franchise quarterbacks or kind of get a new kind of franchise quarterback now and they'll instantly win us a ring. I think that's got a lot of teams kind of just miscalculating. I really think that's just on Tom Brady and how great of a coach Bruce Arians is, and just they brought in all the talent around them offensively to help out Tom Brady, and then that defense was absolutely stacked as well. So these are Matt Stafford's kind of playoff games here. The first one, 2011 against the Saints, they lose 28-45, kind of a blowout. Matt Stafford, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Interceptions in the playoffs are truly deadly, and Matt Stafford is thrown 2 out here. And that was the first round of the playoffs, folks. That was the first round of the playoffs. Then we get in 2014, Detroit losing close here, 20-24, but 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Once again, he gave away that extra kind of drive to help them win. They end up losing 1 possession here. And then in 2016, the last time he got to the playoffs, another blowout here, 6-26, no touchdowns, no interceptions, 56% completion percentage, not scoring any points out here. So it's not like Matt Stafford's this big clutch time winner or anything like that. So I truly do not get all this, oh, Matt Stafford instantly makes this Rams team so much more better. Now let's kind of be a little fair here and see what Jarred Goff has done in his postseason games. Well, we see a lot more. He's played in so many more. Matt Stafford played in 3. We get Jarred Goff here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's made 6 playoff games already in his shorter career than Matt Stafford. So here we go. First kind of playoff season for Jarred Goff coming in 2017. They kind of get blown out a little bit, losing 13-26 over Atlanta. But here we go. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Not really getting those interceptions here in the playoffs. He did throw 53% completion percentage, so that's really not good. Then here we go, the Super Bowl year where they got to the Super Bowl, first game against Dallas. No touchdown, no interceptions, just 53% completion percentage. So he really wasn't the reason why they won that game. 2018, well, yeah, let's see who was putting up the points here for the Rams in this game. Who was putting up the points? Who scored here? Who was their running back here? C.J. Anderson? Oh, look at that man. Man, C.J. Anderson, that man. See freaking Melvin Gordon, C.J. Anderson, he's been forgot about, all right? Melvin Gordon, you're fine. Please relax. But C.J. Anderson here, 2 touchdowns. Todd Gurley, another touchdown. They both ran for over 100 yards. That's fantastic. So getting it done by the ground game, not really relying on Jarred Goff, all right? Then in 2018, continuing on here in 2018, this playoff run for the Super Bowl, the second game against the Saints, very, very close win here for the Rams, 26 points, they win 26-23, 62% completion percentage, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, not the greatest with that 1 interception, but they're able to do enough to squeak out a win there. And then when it came to in the Super Bowl against the The Patriots end up losing, only putting up 3 points. He had 50% completion percentage, 1 interception, no touchdown. So Jarred Goff, not the best playoff run here, a little serviceable, but I mean, getting it all done by the ground game, that's what you're probably going to have to do with Matt Stafford as well. We've seen Matt Stafford flounder in playoff games as well. So we get both of these quarterbacks floundering in playoff games, having decent regular seasons, but you think that's just so much more of a clear-cut difference between Matt Stafford and Jarred Goff? Alrighty, and then just this year they made it back to the playoffs. Matt Stafford didn't. First game for Jarred Goff, they beat Seattle 30-20, 155 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, but 47% completion percentage. Jeez Louise, man, that's trash. And then they get to the Green Bay Packers in the second round of the playoffs here. They lose 18-32, a little bit of a blowout, but he had, a 77% completion percentage. Finally, his best game, his best playoff performance, and 1 touchdown, no pick, just not really going deep down the field a lot here with only 174 yards. So Jarred Goff, not the greatest in the playoffs, but, we see him a little serviceable. He was kind of able to be a game manager when he was out there in that kind of playoff run. So he's won more playoff games than Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford has never really clutched it up in the playoffs, but somehow he's so much leaps, bounds better than Jarred Goff for some reason. I'm truly not seeing it that much, honestly. All right, let's see. Anything else by Robert Woods here? Anything else? I think that was it. Really, his addition to our offense, adding DeSean Jackson, our offense is looking loaded once again. With DeSean Jackson, yes, it's a little loaded, a little reloaded here. I mean, DeSean Jackson is still kind of fast. He's still serviceable in the kind of run game, the deep threat ability, because he can still run. Not as fast as he used to. I mean, he's having, ankle issues basically every single year he's playing. But yeah, I mean, I don't really get it, man. This is going to be a great season. I cannot wait. I truly cannot freaking wait. Once again, so many storylines. Just again, last season, when we were going into last season, talking about all the great storylines of potentially Drew Brees' last year, and it ended up to be, and unfortunately not the result he wanted. We were talking about, Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady in the same division. That played out live in front of us. Tom Brady winning a ring his first year. Patrick Mahomes, the Patriots, all those storylines, and it turned out to be kind of a great year of those storylines. Now we have this season going into this season with these storylines of everybody kind of trading their quarterbacks, getting rid of kind of their franchise guys, potentially the 49ers in this draft. The Rams and the Lions switching quarterbacks. Sean McVay last season to try and, kind of prove that he's a good head coach. Same thing with Matt Nagy and the Bears. How can he look with Andy Dalton? Probably not good either. So everybody's going wild at quarterback position right now because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady did it, folks. He is the Steph Curry of the NFL, honestly changing the game forever. He's one of the greatest to ever do it, and he's changing the game. He's easily the greatest quarterback of all time. I think we have to give it up for him at this point. Everybody's scrambling. Everybody's kind of throwing caution to the wind now. You didn't work out for 1 year. You're getting out of here. If you're not working out year one, we just saw Tom Brady do it. So get out of here. You didn't work. We'll try again. We'll start over again and try it again. But if you're not working out year one, you got to get out of here. So good luck. Good luck, Matt Stafford and Sean McVay. Hopefully y'all can get it done. Alrighty, let's go to the last story of the day. This one is in the NBA. Report, Warriors will be, quote, open for business on Draymond Green this offseason? What are we talking about, man? Stop all this nonsense. Draymond Green is a huge piece of this Warriors success. He was a huge piece of that dynasty before it kind of got ended a little early because Klay Thompson can't stay healthy anymore. How truly, truly unfortunate. But this man is a vocal leader on the floor. He's a defensive leader. He'll do everything. He'll rebound. He'll put up, points, not all the time consistently greatly, but he gets it done in the rebounding game, the passing game, the facilitating on the floor game, the defensive game, the leader. He is a true freaking leader on the floor. I mean, you can't watch a Warriors game without hearing Draymond Green over the announcers. I mean, this man is barking out all game, and I love it. This is what you have to do on the floor. You have to be vocal, be that leader, and he communicates probably as good as anybody else in the NBA does when he's on the floor. So I hate this kind of nonsense of narrative that Draymond Green needs to lead the Warriors and he's holding them back and this and that. Yes, he doesn't score a lot of points, but we see that around the league at some points. I mean, not everybody has to score points. Ben Simmons can't shoot to save his life, and the 76ers are still good. Yes, they've got other pieces, but the Warriors have other pieces. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson when he's healthy, and that's why the Warriors are good, because collectively as a team they have everything. That's why the 76ers are good at this moment right now, because collectively they have everything. Tobias Harris, absolutely lights out score consistently. The man's one of the most consistent players in this league right now that's not kind of a verified superstar at this moment. Joel Embiid, obviously front runner of MVP. Danny Green, great defender, can hit the three as well. I mean, Danny Green's not putting up, 15, 18, 20 points a game. He's putting up basically like 11 points a game on, decently efficient shooting and good defense. That's what Draymond Green does. So I want to kind of just pause this narrative that Draymond Green is kind of like a nuisance on the floor. He doesn't score, so he shouldn't be out there. You don't need to score. PJ Tucker doesn't score, and he was getting it done for the Rockets. Now he's getting it done for the Bucks. I mean, what are we talking about here? Not everybody has to be that 20 plus points a night scorer. You need some defense. You still need some leadership on the floor, and that's what Draymond Green brings to this team. So let's see what we get in this article that means that they're open for business on this man. What are they talking about? So let's see what we get here. The Golden State Warriors are eager to return to their days of surefire contention. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're really just kind of a surefire shooter away from that. Klay Thompson, obviously, but he's injured. Kelly Oubre Jr. was supposed to be that, but he really has not lived up to his potential, his production at all this season. The Warriors are actually better without him. They're on this nice win streak, actually got kind of collapsed last night against the Celtics, but they kind of, were on that big winning streak without Kelly Oubre Jr., so he was holding them back a little bit. As a matter of fact, the Warriors are reportedly going to be open for business on stalwart to Draymond Green. I don't know what that means. On stalwart? What does this word mean? We're going to search Google for stalwart. What the hell is this? Loyal, reliable, hardworking. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir. That's the definition of Draymond Green right there. I love it. And you're going to get rid of that player? Come on. You're going to get rid of a stalwart player? Come on. You're better than that. We get a tweet here. Evan Maxey, verified on Twitter. Is this what we're talking about? One former NBA executive? One former NBA executive talked with Hoop Analysis Net about Draymond Green and his potential availability in the offseason. Quote, I keep hearing that the Warriors will be open for business on Draymond. They aren't going to shop him, but they will listen to offers. Would take a lot, though. Oh, okay. So, I mean, this article made it seem like, hey, we'll trade Draymond Green for a bucket of freaking peanuts. I mean, that's what this headline made it out to be. But the tweet says they aren't going to shop him. They'll listen to offers, and it's going to take a lot. So, I mean, yeah, everybody should be listening to offers at all the time. I mean, if even like Steph Curry, I'd be listening to offers all the time. All right, what are you going to give me? You're going to give me 5 players for 4 first-round draft picks as well? Maybe I'll take a consideration of that. But all right, so maybe I feel a little bit better now reading the entire article. Draymond Green really, especially with Klay Thompson back, they need to run it back. Let's see if they can still continue to do it after kind of a 2-year kind of gap where everybody else, there's more super teams in this league. LeBron's, with the Lakers. Let's kind of see that full healthy matchup, full healthy Lakers, full healthy Warriors. I don't want to see Draymond Green go really anywhere else. I don't think he'll have the success that he's having here with the Warriors right now. This is the perfect fit for them. Draymond Green's, not the biggest forward, but he plays the 4 very well. Steph Curry, having that great outside shooting is what makes Draymond Green even more kind of dangerous out on the floor, because you don't need to have the great big because everybody's worried about Steph Curry shooting the 3. So this is truly the perfect fit for Draymond Green. And if he goes anywhere else, he's not going to be able to live up to kind of what he is. I mean, systems for players, that really dictates what happens in this league. Is the player in the right fit? We talk about right fit all the time in the NFL and the NBA. If you are not in the right kind of fit, the right situation, the right offense, the right team, the right scheme, anything like that, you're going to be lackluster. So I really don't want to see Draymond Green leave the Warriors. I think it would be a stupid idea, but it kind of seems like it's a former NBA executive. The man's not even in the league anymore. So why do we care what he's hearing? I truly don't. All right, maybe a little bit of a nothing burger, but thank goodness, because this man truly deserves not to be let go of the Warriors. Alrighty, those are all the stories we needed to talk about today. So let's head over to the NBA, and we got a little lost on time there. We went 34 minutes on the stories, and we're trying to be done by 1 o'clock tip-off for the Knicks. So let's quickly run through these NBA games from last night. We'll do our moneymaker for tonight's action. Then we'll head over to the NFL Draft Prospect of the Day, try to run through that quickly. So we're out of here at 1 o'clock before the Knicks and Pelicans tip off. So here we go. Last night, Lakers, Jazz. We'll start here first. We don't have to spend too much time on this one. The Jazz rested basically everybody. Now, their bench players had to elevate a little bit better. And they, this was a competitive game. It went into overtime, very close. Jordan Clarkson was being clutched, so fantastic here. So let's start here with the Jazz very quickly. Jordan Clarkson in the starting lineup finally, 27 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. He shot 5 of 15, 40% overall. Pretty decent night by that man. Joe Ingles in the starting lineup as well, 20 points, 14 assists, get it done. Ersan Ilyasova, this man was getting it done, starting 5. Oh my goodness, got it done. 20 points, 5 rebounds. Royce O'Neal stepped it up, 14 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. And then Bojan Bogdanovic, 19 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. So this was a great night by the starting lineup for the Jazz. Just unfortunately, they weren't very deep because all their bench players were in the starting lineup because all their starters weren't in. So off the bench, the best player was Georges Niang, which is, to be expected out there. 9 points, 5 rebounds. We'll give him that. And then let's also shout out Juwan Morgan, 6 points, 5 rebounds off the bench here. So the Jazz kept it close. Just couldn't kind of keep up the scoring in overtime. Let's go to the Lakers now. Dennis Schroeder had a pretty nice night overall. 25 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Didn't shoot well from 3, but was pretty clutch, facilitating the floor in overtime late in the fourth quarter. Very well done. KCP hit some nice clutch shots there at the end of the game. 25 points, 5 rebounds. Andre Drummond, 27 points, 8 rebounds. Finally, he's playing. Finally. Markieff Morris, 10 points. 3 assists, 12 rebounds, 2 of 8 from 3, ended up hitting a big 3 at the end of the game as well. And then Kyle Kuzma, 16 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. He shot 2 of 2 from 3, fantastic, but only took 6 shots. Would have liked to see him be a little bit more aggressive out here. Want to see Kyle Kuzma really be kind of the main scorer without LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Dennis Schroeder could do it as well, but I want to see Kyle Kuzma a little bit more incorporated into this offense. And then Montrezl Harrell off the bench, 12.7 rebounds, getting it done. Very well done. So, very close game here. Lakers able to squeak this one out, 127-115. This was in our moneymaker. Lakers, plus half a point. It was like a half a point spread. And they win in overtime, so very well done. Alrighty, Pistons, Wizards. Wizards, another win, and I absolutely love it. Are the Wizards in the playoff tournament now? Where are they at? The 11th seed, the Bulls, have found their way back in somehow. They finally won last night. So, man, oh, man, of this kind of, this 3-team race here for 10, 11, 12, Bulls, Wizards, Raptors, I think I want to see the Wizards. I mean, I'm kind of a little off on the Bulls now that Zach LaVine's out for 10 to 14 days, but they did just win without him, so maybe. But, I mean, this Wizards team, Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook are just getting it done. I mean, 4-game win streak. Fantastic. Love it. Bradley Beal's getting it done. Russell Westbrook's cleaning up those turnovers and getting wins. Love to see it. So Wizards, another win here, 21-point win over the Pistons. So let's start here with the Wizards here. Russell Westbrook, 15 points, 11 to 14 rebounds, and only 2 turnovers. Love it, Russell. Yes. And then Bradley Beal puts up 37 big old points, shot 59%. Absolutely fantastic. And then nobody else does anything. Just collective kind of garbage out here for this Wizards team. Alex Len still only playing 6 minutes. I mean, he barely plays, and that he's only a starter just because. So 6 minutes for that man, 8 points, no rebounds. Rui Hachimura, 6 points on 27% shooting. Denny Avdija, 3 points on only 1 shot, so nobody else really scoring out here. Ish Smith off the bench had a pretty good night, 16 points on 75% shooting. Will absolutely take that, and they absolutely desperately need that point production. Robin Lopez out there kind of being the main man, the main big, 15 points, 5 rebounds, getting it done. So that was really it. Still no Davis Bertans. He's kind of the third best scorer, and he's kind of been in and out of the lineup, but Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal are still able to get it done defensively, offensively, facilitating the floor, hitting all the shots. I mean, that's the offense right there, folks. Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. Nobody else does anything even remotely consistently on this Wizards team, but hey, it's resulting in wins, and I'm all about it. If I could see Russell Westbrook in the play-in tournament, absolutely, I would take that. Alrighty, so Pistons, Jeremy Grant did play, but he only scored 14 points on 28% shooting, so where do you expect the points to come from if it's not Jeremy Grant? So we'll skip this one since we're a little bit on a time restraint, so we'll skip the Pistons. So let's go to Bulls, Cavs. Bulls get a win without Zach LaVine. What is going on? We had this one in our moneymaker, Cavs plus 3.5, and it was looking good all game, but I mean, how are the Bulls winning without Zach LaVine? What the heck is that? So let's start here with the Bulls and see what happened. Kobe White in the starting lineup. This is the starting lineup for the Bulls without Zach LaVine, and I love that Thaddeus Young is still coming off the bench. I think that's perfect. So Kobe White at the 1, Garrett Temple at the 2, Patrick Williams at the 3, Daniel Tice at the 4, and Vucevic at the 5. So this is what the team did last night. Kobe White only 8 points, 9 rebounds. 8 points, 9 assists. How do you not step up the points production without Zach LaVine? Kobe White needed to be kind of the second main scorer on this team, and he only put up 8 points on 20% shooting. Poor night by Kobe White, and we kind of expect that because he doesn't really step it up ever. Garrett Temple, 8 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds on 6 shots. Vucevic, 25 points. Thank goodness somebody's scoring out here. 25 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. He shot 3 of 5 from 3 and 58% overall from the field. Daniel Tice at the 4, 8 points, 3 rebounds. He was a -4 on the floor, still not doing anything great. He is better off the bench than he is in the starting lineup, but Thaddeus Young is better off the bench than in the starting lineup. So you got to put in Thaddeus Young really doesn't elevate his production at all in that starting lineup. So you got to make the call, and I think this is the best one. Have Thaddeus Young come off the bench. I think that's better than in having Daniel Tice come in the starting lineup. And then Patrick Williams to kind of round out the starters a little bit. 12 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds on 83% shooting. So not the greatest here by the starters. Kobe White definitely really needs to start stepping it up. I mean, Zach LaVine's out for 14 days, folks. This is not going to be the only game that he misses, so we need Kobe White to continue to get better out here. Off the bench, Lauri Markkanen, 16 points, 6 rebounds, fantastic. And Denzel Valentine, 13 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, really getting it done. Getting those points productions that this team desperately needs without Zach LaVine, and they were able to kind of do it. So very well done. And let's go to the Cavs now. Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Jarrett Allen couldn't get it done. Damn them. Just their bench didn't really have that many good kind of scores. So Darius Garland gets it done. 22 points, 12 assists, 2 rebounds, 42% shooting. Colin Sexton, 22 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds, 40% shooting. Jarrett Allen, 10 points, 11 rebounds. Kevin Love getting it done at the 4. 14 points, 11 rebounds. He took 10 threes, though. Geez, I mean, he shot 20% from 3. Could have been a lot better out there. And then Isaac Okoro to round out the starters, 13 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound. And then off the bench, really nothing good. Larry Nance Jr., 7 points. Taurean Prince, 4 points. So nothing great there by this bench team for the Cavs, and they end up really kind of losing it in the fourth quarter. Just couldn't really get it done in the second half. Quarter 3, they got outscored 21-33. Not great. So a little unfortunate there by the Cavs, but well done for the Bulls. I am still big on this Bulls team, but they don't win consistently. A little unfortunate. Alrighty, then we get Celtics Warriors primetime game on that everybody wanted to show that they were clutch, and man, oh man, we got some nice clutch performances here. Steph Curry went clutch from 3, 11 of 19 from 3, 47 points overall. Draymond Green, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. Come on, give this man some respect. Andrew Wiggins had a great game, 22 points, 2 rebounds, and like I said, this Warriors team plays better without Kelly Oubre Jr., man. Another no Kelly Oubre Jr. game, and everybody has great games. I don't get it, man. I'll let y'all do with that information what you want, because I won't say it. And then the Celtics, Jason Tatum clutches hack. Kemba Walker hit the dagger, and that was the first big shot Kemba Walker has ever hit in the NBA. We all know his March Madness, but Kemba Walker, very, very, very well done here. 26 points, hit the dagger, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Still taking 11 threes a game. I'm not truly in love with that, but hey, he just hit the kind of game winner, so I'll give it to him. Marcus Smart hit a big 3 as well. I mean, literally big. I mean, the last 4 minutes were just big shot after 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 big shot. Steph Curry, Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart. Anybody else on the Warriors hit a good one? Kevon Looney, I think, hit a tip-in. Is that right? Andrew Wiggins. I don't know if Andrew Wiggins had a big shot, but just everybody getting involved here in the last 4 minutes. So absolutely great game. Unfortunately, the Warriors lose 119-114 to the Celtics. But, very well done by the Celtics team. Jason Tatum has been absolutely phenomenal. Ever kind of since the trade deadline. That's really when he's, really kind of shorted up. He's like, all right, I'm getting no help over here. Evan Fournier's here, but he's in COVID freaking protocols every other game. So I got to go for 44. So I got to give a ton of respect to Jason Tatum. Even though Jaylen Brown and they're still able to win, Semi Oulajé steps up in the starting rotation, 2 points, 2 rebounds on 25% shooting, not getting it done, but somehow they are able to kind of escape with a win. Jabari Parker's first game here with the Celtics, 11 points, 4 rebounds. Love that. Absolutely. That's what Jabari Parker is brought into for the Celtics team. We just talked about it yesterday on the show, or 2 days ago on the show, and now first game in, making a huge impact, getting those kind of double-digit points off the bench. That's exactly what we need. 11 points and 15 rebounds. Could not ask for anything more from that man. So very, very well done to Jabari Parker. First game in, getting it done, gets the win. Yes, sir. So Celtics beat the Warriors last night. A great game. Alrighty, then we get the Bucks and the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies, a nice win out here, 128-115 win over the Bucks. Bucks didn't have Dante DiVincenzo, but that's not a reason why you should be losing the game, truly. So let's start here with the Grizzlies really quickly. Ja Morant, 13 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Shot 31%, not the greatest, but overall, good night. It was a +9, facilitating the floor, getting it done. Grayson Allen had another great game, and I'm starting to be a little bit of a believer here in Grayson Allen. He's having kind of real good stretches of great games. 26 points on 7 of 10 from 3. What more do you want? The man was the leading scorer for the squad. Fantastic. Jonas Valanciunas, 17 points, 8 rebounds. Kyle Anderson, 8 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. And Dylan Brooks, 21 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. So everybody in the starting lineup really gets it done all the time. They had some nice contributions off the bench. Desmond Bane, 16 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds on 60% shooting. Fantastic. And Xavier Tillman, 15 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds off the bench. That's exactly what we want. And let's also shout out Tyus Jones. Why not? 8 points, 2 steals, 1 assist, 1 rebound in only 16 minutes. We'll give him to that as well. So very well done to this Grizzlies team. Another win here and a good win against a Bucks team. Love it. PJ Tucker was still in for this game. Giannis, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday. It was just Dante DiVincenzo. That's not the reason he's not the sole reason why. He's not really even the top 3 reasons, top 4 or 5 reasons. I wouldn't even put him in the top 5 reasons of why this Bucks team wins games consistently. So a little bit of an upsetting loss here for the Bucks, but let's quickly go over them. Giannis, 28 points, 8 assists, 11 rebounds. Chris Middleton, 16 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. Brook Lopez, 17 points, 3 rebounds. Brian Forbes in place of Dante DiVincenzo, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 of 9 from 3. Kind of a little better than what Dante DiVincenzo does on a daily basis, on a nightly basis. And then Drew Holiday, 17 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. A nice night overall by the starters, but they didn't have that good bench. PJ Tucker, 5.6 rebounds. Why is everybody kind of praising PJ Tucker when PJ Tucker does the same thing that Draymond Green does? Come on. Pat Connaughton, 7 points, 4 rebounds, and Bobby Portis, only 6 points. So nothing great here from the Bucks bench, and that's really kind of why they lost the game. And let's finish it out by the Suns and the Spurs. Man, oh man, lackluster game here by the Suns. I mean, the leading scorer was Devin Booker with only 15 points. The leading scorer was actually Javon Carter, 17 points off the bench in only 24 minutes. Then we get Devin Booker with 15 points. Then we get Cameron Payne once again off the bench with only 12 points. Chris Paul, 6 points on 30% shooting. DeAndre Ayton, 8 points on 44% shooting. Jay Crowder, 2 points on 3 shots. So nobody was scoring here for the Suns team. They only made 6 threes. Another reason why they lost, the Spurs making 12. So let's quickly run through why the Spurs team won. Still, I mean, they didn't even have DeMar DeRozan, Patty Mills, or Jacob Poeltl, and the Suns still lost. So a big, big, big loss here by the Suns team, especially having a chance because the Jazz, did the Jazz lose? Did we say the Jazz lost? What happened with the Jazz? They won? No, they lost. So the Suns really could have been, once again, a half a point away from that number 1 seed in the West. So a killer loss last night by the Suns. A game they definitely shouldn't have lost, but they did. So, man, oh man. Not a great loss for the Suns. They should be ashamed of themselves, only putting up 85 points and losing against a shorthanded Spurs team. So, that was the NBA from last night. We got action on today, folks. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to run through our moneymaker, and that's going to probably be it for the show. I don't think we're going to get to Cade Johnson again. Oh, my goodness, Cade Johnson. We apologize. We know the draft's coming up. We got to fit you in. We get it. Unfortunately, we can't do it here today because we got basketball tipping off at 1 o'clock. We got to be there for that. So here we go. Pacers, Hawks today. Then Pelicans Knicks, 1 o'clock, tipping off on ESPN. 3:30, Heat Nets, tipping off on ESPN. Should be a good one as well. Then we get later tonight, Blazers, Hornets, Rockets, Magic, Thunder, Raptors, Kings, Mavericks, Timberwolves, Clippers, all on tonight. So let's get a moneymaker going. Let's see how to make some money on this beautiful Sunday. Gosh damn, I see clouds, the blue sky. It's warm as heck. I love it. All right, so here we go. Let's get these lines up to date. Come on. Get up to date here. We got games. In 11 minutes. Come on, DraftKings. Alrighty, here we go. First game up, Pelicans, Knicks. Let's see what we get here. We're going to be taking this game. We'll bet the game because it is on television. So let's see what we get here for the ins and outs. For the Pelicans, Josh Hart is still out and Nikhil Alexander-Walker is out. So they're going to be sticking with Lonzo Ball there at the starting point guard position. And then for the Knicks, Alec Burks is out and Mitchell Robinson. So very, very close here. Knicks are on a 5-game winning streak, looking very good. And the Pelicans are on a 2-game losing streak. I mean, man, oh man, Lonzo Ball's first game back. Can't even beat the Wizards. Not the greatest. So we're going to go, oh man, this one's tough. Oh man, Julius Randle should be able to decently handle Zion. And it's really just going to come down to how well does Lonzo Ball play. I'm not ready to trust Lonzo. I'm going to give it to the Knicks because, Derrick Rose has been looking pretty good these last couple of games. I've been giving it to him. Even off the bench, he's still able to get it done. RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, get it done for the starters. Taj Gibson's been playing pretty good defense out there. I'll give it to him. So it's really going to come down to the bench here. How's Emmanuel Quickly going to kind of play here for the Knicks? So I'm going to take the Knicks here plus 1.5 at home with kind of Lonzo Ball not still really acclimated back into the starting lineup after coming off that injury. Eric Bledsoe really lackluster, in the absence of Lonzo Ball, and not having Josh Hart there off the bench really hurts this Pelicans team. They're not the deepest team. The Knicks are decently deep, and they have to kind of get great production on a nightly basis from their bench. So we're going to bet on really kind of this Knicks bench to get it done. I think Derrick Rose kind of leads the bench here. Prime time, 1 o'clock game. Zion's going to do great. He always does great. Nerlens Noel versus kind of Steven Adams should be pretty interesting. We'll see kind of who gets the edge there, but I'm going to rely on this Knicks team overall. I think the Pelicans have a great Brandon Ingram. They got great Zion Williamson, but then we're talking about Eric Bledsoe and Lonzo Ball. And I know Lonzo Ball is decent and y'all love him, but, on a nightly basis, he's all right out there, folks. He's all right. So we'll take the Knicks plus 1.5 here. Alrighty, then we get the Pacers and the Hawks. Pacers +2, Hawks -2. Are you kidding me? We'll swallow the 2 if everybody's good to go for the Hawks. For the Pacers, Doug McDermott is out, so a little bit less of their bench scoring, but finally they get their big back, Miles Turner. So, he can play the 5, Sabonis can play the 4, and they can go back to, being happy. The Hawks, Danilo Gallinari out, Tony Snell out, Chris Dunn out, Cam Reddish out. Damn, Hawks, damn. A lot of players out here, but I'm going to bet on them. We're going to bet on them. Clint Capella, Trae Young, Lou Williams off the bench, Bogdanovich getting it done. Absolutely fantastic here. So this Hawks team should be a little light scoring off the bench, but I think the starters can all get it done. And this Pacers team doesn't show us anything great. This Hawks team is still kind of fighting for prime position in the playoffs here at the number 5th seed. Can get up to the number 4. They could be the number 4 if they win tonight. They're only half a game back from the Celtics. So we'll take the Hawks, trying to get to that kind of home court advantage in the playoffs. So we'll take the Hawks -2. I've got no problem with them. All right, then we get the Nets and the Heat. Nets -3, Heat +3. Another one that we probably are going to take the Nets on if everybody's good to go. James Harden's out, which we know of. Tyler Johnson's out. Spencer Dinwiddie is out, and Chris Chiozza's out. So really kind of the usual suspects there. And then for the Heat, Jimmy Butler, game time decision. Andre Iguodala, game time decision. Victor Oladipo's still out. He should be getting kind of reevaluated when they're back at home. He should really get reevaluated any minute now because they've kind of finished their road trip that they were on. So interesting game here for the Heat. I'm going to take the Nets -3, but the one thing that I do have a little bit of kind of pause on taking this game is that kind of Jimmy Butler called out Bam Adebayo a little bit last game of not being too aggressive, so expect him to get it done. But at the end of the day, we're talking about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and Blake Griffin. I mean, and freaking Joe Harris gets it done every single time, and who's there. Nicholas Claxton can still get it done off the bench. So this Nets team is very, very deep. This Heat team, I mean, Tyler Hero's on this big old slump, can't get it done, and you really can't rely on anybody else on this team. Nobody is stepping up on this team. So we're going to take the Nets -3. That's not a lot of points, and the Nets have so much firepower. We'll take that. Alrighty, we're working our way up to kind of a moneymaker extravaganza up here. Anything more than a 4-teamer, we call it extravaganza. And, I mean, we've taken the first 3 games so far. So let's see. We've got 5 left, so we'll probably be taking them all. But let's see what we get here. Blazers, Hornets. Blazers -4.5. Hornets +4.5. Man, oh, man, I might take the Blazers here, too. If Damian Lillard is playing. Oh, no, he's not. Damn, we'll stay away from it. Damian Lillard's still out. Truly unfortunate there. Zach Collins also still out for the Blazers. And then for the Hornets, besides the usual suspects, Devontae Graham's a game-time decision, and P.J. Washington's also a game-time decision. So we'll stay away from this one. No Damian Lillard, no good value there with the Blazers. And we know this Hornets team can decently keep the games close. They really can't just close out in the fourth quarter. They lose it there. They just lost in the fourth quarter against the Nets the other night. So we'll stay away from that one. Alrighty, then we get the Rockets and the Magic. Oh, man, can we finally bet the Rockets? Can we finally bet the Rockets? I think we may be able to, but let's see who's in and out here. For the Rockets, CJ Augustine is out, Eric Gordon is out, John Wall is out, Daniel House Jr. is out, Sterling Brown is out, David Webb is out, Dante Exum is out, so no John Wall. Probably got to stay away from it a little bit. I can trust Christian Wood and Kelly Olynyk, but who am I trusting at the guard position? For the Magic, Otto Porter is out, Michael Carter-Williams is out, way too many people out there for the Rockets, the big one being John Wall, so unfortunately, and Sterling Brown, so they're not even going to get that kind of bench scoring from Sterling Brown, so going to stay away from the Rockets. They do nothing but bite us in the butt. We've learned, we've corrected it, and unfortunately, I don't think we can bet the Rockets for the rest of the season, even though they were this close of getting us the other night, and once again, I was a little close here taking this. If John Wall played, I probably would have taken it. Unfortunate. But let's keep going here. We got 2 more games on the docket. No, we got 3. I skipped one. So let's go back to this one. Thunder Raptors. Thunder +10.5. Raptors -10.5. What? I'm sure Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's not playing, but gosh darn, are the Raptors really that much better than this Thunder team without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's out. Mike Muscala's out. Aleksej Pokusevski is also out with Josh Hall. And then for the Raptors, Fred VanVleet, game time decision. Gary Trent Jr., game-time decision. So we know kind of how this Raptors team operates. They can kind of get it done with their main players. Their main players come in, not too much of a difference. They're still fighting for that 10th spot in the East, but Nick Nurse is hinting that they don't really want to go for it. So we'll stay away from this one. I can't take this Thunder team. I truly can't, and I can't trust the Raptors -10.5 points. Absolutely not. Alrighty, so here we go. Last 2 games. Probably not going to be an extravaganza now. Darn it. We hit a good stride, but we've fallen off hard here. But then we get the Kings and the Mavericks. Kings +8.5, Mavericks -8.5. Alrighty. Raquan Holmes is still out for the Kings. Marvin Bagley's out for the Kings, so they're not going to have their good big out there. And Tyrell Terry's out for the Mavericks. So we know this Kings team is just absolutely trash. They have good scores, but man, they can't play defense, and their coach is just absolutely trash out there. And then for the Mavericks, they're pretty good. They're pretty decent. And they'll probably win the game, but I'm not ready to kind of swallow 8.5 here for this Mavericks team. So let's go on to the last game. Timberwolves Clippers. Alrighty, we might be able to get some great value here. Timberwolves +10, Clippers -10. If everybody's in for the Timberwolves and the Clippers are missing just kind of one key player, we'll probably take the Timberwolves here +10. But let's see what we get. Malik Beasley's out, and Jalen Noel is a game time decision for the Timberwolves. And then for the Clippers, Patrick Beverley's still out. Serge Ibaka's out. Kawhi Leonard's a game-time decision, so little load management there. So I'm going to take the Timberwolves +10 here. I love what they've been doing. They've got all their pieces. Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, Ricky Rubio, and then D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench. I don't think he starts here. I mean, this man's been coming off the bench and still kind of getting it done, rolling with that second squad. So I'll take the 10 here with the Timberwolves. Like I said, they may not win, but they do keep games competitive. This is a kind of new Timberwolves team. They're not the trash, that they've been all season long. Ever since they've gotten healthy, they've been decently competitive out here. So we'll take the 10 there. I think that's pretty good value. So our moneymaker for tonight, we got the Knicks +1.5, Hawks -2, Nets -3, and the Clippers +10. Alrighty. Alrighty, that is going to do it for us today. We got to get out of here. Tipping off in about 2 minutes. The game officially tips off at 1:10, but 1 o'clock, y'all know. Come on. So let's see if anything's breaking as we were live. Did y'all see the Jake Paul knockout last night? How crazy is that? Real, fake, staged, not fake, not staged? I don't know. I can't tell. But I would have done the same thing. If you told me to stage a fight for a couple mil, absolutely. A 10-minute fight, absolutely. For a couple milli, I'll lose. I don't care. I don't give a damn. What is this? Okay, y'all got to stop. TikTok is wildin'. TikTok is wildin' out here. All right, so that looks to be it. First player ever to have 25-plus triple-doubles in 4 different seasons. You cannot deny greatness. It doesn't translate to wins, but it is great. I will say that. Alrighty, folks, we are out of here. 12:59. We got to get out of here. 1 o'clock NFL or NBA starts to tip off. Cannot wait. It's going to be a great day of NBA. Get in, get comfortable, get cozy. Some nice games on tonight. So, alrighty, folks, we're out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow in the full kind of hour-and-a-half show that will hopefully be able to finally fit Kate Johnson in. I feel sorry for the man, but we are out of here. See ya.